Let me go.
Hi.
So, how are things up at the big house?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Well, I asked, didn't I?
Really, Lois, it's not worth mentioning.
Brenda? I thought we'd had enough of the secrets between us, especially where my in-laws are concerned.
Okay.
They're planning this big powwow with Katherine. Do tell, really? At whose request? The witch herself. Interesting.
I assume you want canopies rather than dinner?
Oh, yes. Not another meal with that loathsome woman.
And cocktails?
Martinis for Edward, and, I'd like to have a Bloody Mary standing by, just in case. Oh, Reginald, I don't know when I've ever dreaded anything as much as this evening.
Well, I'm sure it'll all be over before you know it. With any luck, she'll never darken this doorway again.
Oh, I hope you're right. I don't think I could stand that much more of it.
I'm sorry if I'm out of line. It's just that I've grown quite fond of you, and it upsets me to see you so distressed.
How could one live in this house and not be? Oh, when I think of the havoc that creature has wreaked on this family,
Please, don't upset yourself, Mrs. Quartermaine. We'll be rid of Miss Bell. Mr. Ashton will see to that.
Oh, you're right. As usual. Oh, Reginald, what would I ever do without you?
Well, that's something you'll never have to consider. I'll go speak to Cook.
Oh, my dear, dear boy. Have you any idea of how much I adore you?
Even now?
Even always.
It was not my intention to have this charade become a way of life, Grandmother. It was just one night. You know, I thought I'd sing a song, flirt with a pretty girl, and then come home with a nice memory. But she was so much more. She was vibrant, alive. She was like the sun shining down on me and warming my soul. And I just couldn't let her go. So I just kept it going. Brenda told me I was delusional, and I suppose I was, but I really thought there was some way I could figure out how to get out of this without hurting Lois. And now, look at the mess we're in.
She won't forgive you, darling?
She says she hates me.
Oh, no, I'm sure that's not true. The poor girl is hurt and angry, and she has every reason to be. But hate you? Oh, no, no.
You don't know Lois. She thinks I was hiding her from the family because I was ashamed of her. Can you imagine that? Ashamed of the most amazing woman in the world?
Maybe I could have a little chat with her. I think perhaps she could benefit from one of my war stories.
Grandmother, would you do that? That would be great. I really think that she would listen to you.
Then I shall try. As soon as the dust clears from the faux bride.
Well, that will be over as of tonight.
Are you sure?
Katherine will go, and she will do it quietly. Monica, shouldn't you be in bed?
Probably, but I'm not going to be until I'm sure that Katherine's out of here.
Don't waste your breath, Ned. I've been talking to her all the way home. You just had chemotherapy. Why don't you give yourself a break?
Alan, don't grump at me. It's more tiresome than chemo.
This is all my fault.
Which part?
Monica just had major surgery, and she should be concentrating on recovery. Instead, she's worrying about what Katherine's going to do next. I promise you, I am going to fix this. Starting tonight, we are going to be out of this, one way or another.
No.
She's your wife, Ned.
She is not my wife.
All right. Let's not argue about minutia. You have lived with the woman. You've worked with her. You've slept with her. What do you think this meeting is all about?
More threats? More demands?
Oh, is that all, Ned? I mean, come on, don't you have a counterattack handy?
Basically, I'm gonna tell her to stuff it.
Perfect. County jail, here I come.
The only person who's going to jail is Katherine. Don't forget she's an embezzler, and there are people out there who want their pound of flesh.
So you're telling us that you have this disaster under control?
You can't control disaster.
You can contain them.
Well, you better, because I'm not going to go on indefinitely allowing Katherine to ride roughshod over this family.
And I'm with Father. I mean, it's time to play hardball. I'll tell you something, Ned. I would rather go to jail than kowtow to this woman for one more demand.
I'm not in the mood for this.
Well, what?
What? What? This is ridiculous. Here we are. Here we are, supposedly one of the most powerful families on the eastern seaboard, and we're at the mercy of this vain, insipid woman. Meanwhile, there's things going on in the real world that really should have our attention. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if she doesn't march the hell out of that door tonight for the last time, I will not be responsible.
I think she is close.
Ms. Bell.
Good evening, all. Oh, everyone's here, I see.
I wasn't aware we had a choice in the matter, Katherine.
Good evening, Katherine. May I offer you something to drink?
She won't be here that long.
Yes, a martini would be divine. Thank you.
3 olives?
Very good, Reginald. You were paying attention.
Let's not waste any more time than we have to. What is this about?
Me and my new reason for drawing breath, which is to be an instrument of torture to this entire family. Thank you so much.
That's a pretty lofty goal, Katherine.
And a worthy one. You have all been wretched to me from the minute I first stepped foot into this house.
You blackmailed your way into this house.
You gave me the opportunity. And instead of making the best of the situation, you all looked down your collective noses at me and made me feel like I was something that Annabelle dragged in from the yard. Well, no more. I am holding all the cards once again.
I wouldn't be so sure, Katherine.
What's that from the peanut gallery? You're too weak to even swat a fly, Monica. Why don't you go upstairs to your bed or something?
Don't you dare talk
Oh,
to my
shut
wife.
up, Alan. You don't frighten me. None of you do.
Maybe you're not as smart as you think you are.
And maybe you're all just a bunch of paper tigers. Well, here's what's happening, Quartermaines. Unless you do everything I say, I will go directly to Sean Donnelly and tell him everything I know about the Ray Conway murder. My next stop will be my lawyer's office, where I will have papers drawn up charging Ned with bigamy. Included in that lawsuit will be a request for compensatory damages in the likes of which you cannot imagine.
Hi.
Hi, Reg. Is Ashton around?
Yeah, but he's behind closed doors.
Oh, the family meeting, huh? Yeah. Well, that's not a problem since I'm a brand new family member. Remember?
Yeah, I remember. Oh, how would you like to be announced? Ms. Cirillo, Mrs. Maine? Perhaps you'd like Mrs. Ashton.
Good question.